Well, hello everyone. Got the engine block AV8 back from the machinist. Did a valve job for me, bored and honed, a few other things, decked it a little bit as minimum as possible. But anyway, I'm prepping the block for the build. And one of the things that I'm doing is I'm running an electric fuel pump. So I need to somehow block off the fuel pump push rod bushing oil passage, because if you don't, you lose a little bit of oil pressure. This is the bushing right here. I already took it out, but I'll show you guys how I removed it. Let's see. There, that little hole right there, oil comes out of there and lubricates the push rod. Well, if you don't have that push rod in there, the oil just blows through there and you lose a little bit of oil pressure. So some people have different ways to do it, but the way I'm going to do it is I ordered a new bushing, and I took the fuel pump push rod, cut it off, welded it to the bushing, and then I tapped the rod and put a washer on there. And what that did is, one, it blocked the hole for the push rod, and the other, with a washer on top, it won't allow the bushing somehow to ever fall down inside the crank case. So to remove this, only about that much is sticking out of the block. What I did first was I grabbed a big easy out, put it in there, and then twisted it, which broke it loose. And then I was able to twist and pull up on it, just kept doing that, and then the bushing, I was able to get the bushing out. So I got that out, and here's the new bushing that I'm going to put in. See how it's solid there with the rod welded in, and then the washer, the screw, and yes, I Loctited that screw in. So anyway, I measured the distance from the top of the bushing to the block, 71 thousandths, I believe. So I'm going to reinstall this at the same height. That way there the oil can pass through this little groove right there. Before I install the new bushing, I'm going to run a cleaner, a wire cleaner, well actually it's a rifle bore cleaner, through this oil galley tube here. The AV8 doesn't have a little plug right here, like on the 59A I believe. It has a plug you can remove and then you can clean that oil galley really good, but on the AV8 you can't. So I figured while I had this bushing out, I could run a cleaner through that oil galley tube. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Alright, so I have my rifle bore all set up. I'm just going to spray a little, I think brake cleaner should be okay. So get in there and get any gunk out that's there. The machinist that did my engine, he was supposed to clean this all out, and it looks like he did a pretty good job. I'm just making sure it's clean. But yeah, there's like nothing on that brush, so he did a pretty good job. I'm just going to grab a pad now and clean it out a little bit more. Put a little bore solvent on the patch there, and that should get it pretty good. Not bad. Alright, new clean patch with a little oil on there, and that oil will help pick up any residual gunk that's in there. Pretty good. That's just a dry patch. That's still getting a little gunk out of there. Alright. Well, my first attempt at installing that bushing was a total failure. It was a disaster. It just seemed to be way too tight, way too much pressure to put in there. I'm not sure if the aftermarket bushing was a little bit bigger in diameter, or if me welding on it made it swell up or something. But anyway, I just redid it with this. I took the stock bushing out of there. It was still usable, so I did the same thing basically. Put the push stock fuel pump push rod in there, and I'll just put 4 little tacks on it and then ground it down a little bit. Make sure they weren't going to affect the fit. So, and then once that was done, I put the bushing in the freezer all night long. So hopefully that will reduce the diameter just slightly, and I'll be able to put it in there a lot easier this time. Okay, that's good. Well, I took the rotating assembly into the machine shop to get it balanced. So it'll be a couple weeks until I get it back. I've been trying to spend the time doing a little block preparation. Got the block painted, got the heads painted, cleaned up and painted the oil pan, the water pumps, the water outlets, and had the flywheel cleaned up, resurfaced, and that's where I'm at right now. I fitted a valve assembly in their valve areas, and I found that running the Zephyr springs from Red's headers and the Chevy valves, that I'm going to need quite a few spacers to get the pressures I want on the springs, which isn't much. I'm thinking 55 pounds. So I had to order a few different parts, and that'll be a week probably before they come in. So anyway, just trying to move along. Thanks for watching.